Hello everyone and welcome to the B.Addresses podcast. So on today's episode, we're literally going to be talking about stigmatization. So today's topic is literally a topic that's close to my heart because I've seen how much, stigmatization has been going around, instigated by other women to their fellow women, and it's literally spreading like a plague. By a plague, I mean it's something that is becoming more frequent and more common, and it definitely needs to be stopped. So stigmatization is basically a way in which someone treats someone with contempt in a very condescending manner. By condescending, I mean you are looking down on that person just because they don't have what you have. So basically, we are going to be looking at different communities and different societal structures. Some women are actually stigmatizing some other women, their fellow women, instead of empowering. It's a way in which you don't see that person in the same way you would see yourself. You see yourself as superior, you see the other person as inferior. So basically, I've seen this plague becoming more prevalent even in communities like churches, and it's really sad because real life example of myself, my mom is a single parent. The gravity of the situation is we have two groups of people in a church, which is supposed to be a place where it's an actual community where people are literally fellowshipping together, where you expect togetherness, where you expect peace, where you expect stability, where you expect understanding, sisterhood, in that kind of atmosphere and environment. But then in contrast, you see other females who are literally treating others. They may not literally say it out, but their actions, their gestures, non-verbal cues, their dialogues, those dialogues that you literally hear, maybe they are just talking about them with their other friends who are literally married. These people have literally created certain clubs, okay? This is the group of those women who are literally married. This one is for those who are single. And then we have these people fit into this category. So one thing I'm trying to understand is if we are in a place that is expected to be like a community, like a church, or somewhere where women can literally pray together and fellowship together, why is it that we have division instead of unity? Why is it that we don't have peace in that kind of environment? Why is it that we are giving other women the power to literally belittle and step on other women just because they are not married? Because number one, you are not in control of that person's destiny. And the other thing is, I have noticed that not everyone is on the same timeline. People are on different timelines because we have different destinies. So now, one thing that's for sure is we are not in control of whatever happens in our lives. For example, you may say, this person is single, she's not married, something is wrong with her, from a societal standard. She's a woman, she's supposed to be married, she's supposed to be with somebody, but why is she single? It's high time that other women who are literally using, or abusing that post of being a married woman to literally belittle another fellow woman who is literally not married yet, or who is just not married. Because number one, you don't know the reasons that led to that person being single. For example, in my case, my dad passed away before I was born. So this was sort of you can't avoid it, It's something that can happen literally to anybody at any time, at any point of day. And then we have women who literally don't have that kind of insight that, instead of treating this person from such a mediocre point of view, because we are in a church and we expect unity, we expect peace, we expect togetherness, and not even in the church, actually, right? I was just using the church as an example. We have women who are literally, looking down onto other women, even in their workplaces. For example, just because you wear a ring doesn't mean you're different from the other woman, because both of you are literally the same gender, you work at the same workplace. Then why don't you just appreciate the fact that she is also a female? You don't know what literally transpired for that person to be single, number one. Number two, just because you're married, you don't know why you are in that position in the first place. So you can just be in that position for a reason. You're not there to literally use it to exploit other women. And also, one thing that I wanted to say is, we have also heard rumors that, a child or a daughter who is literally raised by a single parent, short of both a father and a mother's love. For example, take it from someone who's literally a daughter of a single mom. And look at where I am at the moment. It's because of her grooming. It's because of her life lessons. It's because of even the discipline that she instilled in me. So basically it differs. You can't put everyone in the same bracket and say, oh, just because she was born by a single mother, she's not going to be all that. She's not going to be disciplined. She's just going to be wild because she lacks that kind of fatherly discipline. That's one thing that I wanted to correct, because we are very different and not all parents are the same. And people do make their choices. Once they reach 18, they start making choices and decisions on their own. So people can't literally blame that on the parent. Basically, what am I saying? Just because you are born by a single mother doesn't mean that you are going to turn up a menace in the society, like a problem in the society. No, we are very different. There are so many factors that literally are involved in parenting. Number one, it's based on how your parent was literally, brought up herself. I'm talking about in the case of mothers, right? So basically, you can't say that just because the mother is single, so the daughter will just turn up. So let's correct that misconception. So what am I saying? Let's stop stigmatizing females who are literally not in the same position that you're in. Just because you are the boss in the workplace, don't use your position to literally abuse another woman. Number two. Number three, also, when we are in a place of worship, we expect togetherness, we expect peace, we expect unity to literally thrive in that atmosphere, not division, gossip, not treating the other woman in a sort of like a condescending manner. No, that is not what we want. And also, let's make sure that we instill respect. Respect is very important. Respect other women, respect their decision. Don't criticize her, don't stigmatize her in social gatherings and all of that. That is not what we want. That is not going to bring about empowerment and change in the society, because if that is how we're going to be treating each other and then we claim to be empowered, or we claim to be full-fledged women who are literally who literally know what they're doing in the society, it's not going to work. If you are in a place of power as a woman, don't use your position to abuse another woman. Number two, if we are in a social gathering, no stigmatization, no division, but rather unity, togetherness, and love. In the contrary, we have seen kids or girls who literally have been raised by both parents, no disrespect, who have been brought up by both parents, and then they turn out wild. Why is that there? Why does that case even exist? Why are we even talking about this? Because if we are to say a girl child literally turns out wild just because she lacks a father figure, or she lacks discipline which she could have received from a male figure, then we are literally missing the point. No. Some people say that a mom can play two roles efficiently. Yes, because she's a female. And a female can't be a male, right? But at least she tries by all means to do what she can as a female, right? For the betterment of her child or her daughter, or all of that, so that they turn up right? But then at the end of the day, if we want to bring about that argument or that debate, basically a lot of cases have come from children who have been raised by both parents, but they turn out into something else, regardless of having both parents literally disciplining them, her having a father's share of discipline, and then they just turn out otherwise in the negative aspect. It's very sad. Again, in closing, I am saying, let's not use the blessings we have been given to oppress other women, to stigmatize them, to literally belittle them. Let's rather embrace each other as women. Let's embrace each other's strengths and uniqueness. Let's try by all means to make sure that we don't make the other woman feel inferior. Remember, the goal is to literally empower each other as women, not to bring each other down. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, so today is my mother's birthday, and I want to say shout out to her. I love you, Mom. Love you so much. You have no idea what you mean to me. You have been my inspiration. You have been my joy. And definitely I'm doing this to make you proud. And I really love seeing you happy, because that is my strength. So yes, this is from the B.Addresses podcast. This is B signing out.